Hi everyone, welcome back. Now, as I always say, the main thing about my channel is it's just my view. There's no science behind it, there's no facts or figures, it's just my personal view of and reading of what's been going on. And I've made a few notes because there's a lot that's gone on this week, so I've made some notes to help me out here. And I guess the main thing that I want to look at this week is what happened on Clapham Common over the weekend in London. And I've no doubt this news has probably gone around the world, so forgive me guys if you're overseas. For the expats that are overseas, you might see something. Now, it all started with the abduction and murder, tragically, of a young lady, 30-year-old, called Sarah Everade. Now this lady was just walking home, minding her own business, when what's panning out and what's looking like and what's being reported is an off-duty Metropolitan Police officer has abducted her and then killed her. What else has gone on with that, I don't know. That's not been reported. So obviously things are running high, feeling towards the police are running high. So then people decided, the last place she was seen was at the bandstand on Clapham Common. So everyone said, okay, fine, we'll for some unknown reason, and they've chosen that area to start laying flowers. A lot of people put flowers down as a mark of respect to remember this young girl. People, the news were reporting it. Now, a certain section wanted to hold a vigil. They asked the police and the council and they were flatly refused. No, there is a pandemic on. To have all those people in one place is not safe. There is a global pandemic and you stand a chance of spreading this crap. Just as we're starting to get it under control, you're going to spread this crap around. So no, you can't have your vigil. But they went ahead anyway. Now, what then ensued was, it started out quite peacefully. Numbers grew and grew and grew. Obviously there was a lot of communication going on behind the scenes in social media, encouraging women to turn up there. Probably by certain sections of the public. So what turned out to be a peaceful vigil, and we say that loosely, even to the point where Kate was there. Future Queen of England. She actually turned up, not wearing a mask. Kate should have worn a mask, love. You got to set example. But she turned up. She was in there, expressing, showing her support. Now, what ensued after that? Numbers grew, numbers grew, numbers grew. What you actually saw in the media the following day would be almost a riot, with the police manhandling certain individuals, pinning one woman to the floor, and the media coverage of that went probably for about 20-30 seconds. Just the flash points, that's all they were reporting on, was the flash point. So it was typical lazy, bone idle journalists, not looking at the full facts, not giving an unbiased view of what happened. It was literally flashpoint. This is what's happened. The police are bastards. They've done this. They shouldn't have done that. The police are heavy-handed. Cressida Dick should resign. Priti Patel should resign. Get rid of the police. There's been calls for all sorts. Get rid of the police. Oh, come on, people. Are you stupid? So, ITV, BBC, the whole newsroom, I mean, you're calling for heads to roll in the police. It's the media where the heads should roll. Whoever's in charge of the BBC News, the editor, news editor, the newsroom, the producers, the presenters. Same on ITV. Absolutely shocking, disgraceful reporting of what's gone on. Now, to give them their dues, and I always say that Sky News are boring as bat crap. They run a piece Monday, Tuesday, where they actually looked, and it went for 5 minutes, and you can find it on YouTube. Brilliant piece of reporting, fantastic piece of journalism. It looks at it and it gave you a rundown and a bird's eye view of what happened where the vigil first started and the police stood back. Low numbers, but the police stood back and let everything go. They let people have their time, have their moment with the flowers, lay their flowers, spend time. The police were not pushing, they weren't turning people away, they weren't rushing people away. The police were very, very respectful. And as the crowd grew, obviously the police presence has to grow with it because it's public safety. We rely on the police for public safety. And everything grew. As the numbers were growing, so the police force were putting more and more bodies on the deck. The light was fading. It got to around 6 o'clock. There was a lot of people there, and we're talking probably 1,000 people had turned up. Some wearing masks, some not wearing masks. Obviously you can see this is all on the footage. Then the police said, okay, fine, and the numbers are getting too dangerous. A local council member requested that people start dispersing and going home now. Thanks for your time. You guys have got to go home. We've respected your vigil. You need to move on. The numbers still kept growing. Nobody was leaving. Then the police liaison officer requested, guys, you need to go. You need to move on. You need to go home. They didn't. They didn't move. The numbers kept growing, so the police obviously had more and more boots on the deck. And you see this starting to get out of hand. They are requesting them. The police are moving through the crowd, requesting people, please go home. It's a matter of public safety. There is a pandemic going on. Don't forget, it is a pandemic. And we're talking about people's safety. And they still kept staying there. And then the chants against the police started. So the police then surrounded the bandstand to try and then encourage people to leave. And then they were starting to move people off. And that's when these two individuals, shall we say, that's hit the press, the young lady on the floor that the police pinned down to arrest her, she was shouting obscenities at the police, towards the police, by the police. She was basically having a go. They asked her to move, they tried to move her on, and she was resisting it. She was resisting. So they decided we'll arrest her, and she's still resisting. So now she's also shouting at people to ignore the police. So she's inciting public disorder. She's resisting arrest, and they're the two that I know of. And she's been a complete twat. So yes, she deserved to be arrested, and it was her own fault. But the media never said this. The other woman who was standing there, and you can quite clearly see her in some of the photos, she's standing there with her fist raised, like she's a member of the Black Panther group. Come on, love, you're a middle-aged woman who probably lives in suburbia. You've got a house, 3-bedroom house, 2 kids, and probably a VW Polo sitting on the front garden, sitting at the front of the house. I mean, come on. You're not a member of the Black Panther group. You're some stupid cow who's troublemaking. And she again was arrested because she resisted moving on. She was troublemaking. She was being a troublemaker. Now, this is all because of one police officer being stupid. And a bunch of women who were told, no, there is a pandemic going on. You cannot have a mass gathering on Clapham Common. But they carried on. So it was an illegal gathering. Should not have been there. Yet the police are being blamed for this. The media are blaming the police. So again, this comes down to lazy journalists. This comes down to bone-idle editors, bone-idle news reporting. This comes down to bad TV. Once again. Now, on Sky News, the presenter there, Gillian, asked Emelina Velesinovic what the public reaction was. And this presenter is standing at the bandstand on Clapham Common, probably Monday, Tuesday morning. And she gave a full rundown of what happened. So she had no question, no answers of well, the public feeling is this, and the public are reacting like that, and the public think this, and the public think that. No, she just gave a complete bullcrap answer about what happened. We'd already been told that. We'd already seen footage of it. So she didn't do what she didn't answer the question. Again, had no idea. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. Cressida Dick, I mean, that poor woman to go through a male-dominated profession with a name like Cressida Dick, poor girl. But calling for her resignation, please. She's not going to resign, and neither should she. She needs to back her troops up. She needs to back up the police. It's her job to back those guys up. And to be fair, from the footage I saw, and like I said, it's on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and you can find it. It's a great piece of reporting by Sky News. From what I saw, from what I made of it, the police did everything they could to avoid what happened. But the media's not reporting that. BBC doesn't report that. ITV doesn't report that. If you look at it, if you go on to Facebook, go on to LBC, over 3,000 people commented on a post saying that they should not have been there. It was illegal. They shouldn't have been there in the first place. Public view is not supporting these women being there and causing this trouble. And they're sitting there saying, we want a meeting with Boris Johnson. Please, love, you're a troublemaker. Go away. The public do not support you on this. It was meant to be a peaceful vigil. If it was a peaceful vigil, no problem. Everybody would support you. Fantastic. Yeah, it's showing your support, showing your sympathy for Sarah Everade, for her family. Let's not forget, her family have lost this poor girl. In the prime of her life, they have lost this poor girl. And you've got complete arseholes trying to politicise this, trying to use this as a weapon. They're saying they want the streets back. They're saying women want to feel safe. Has anybody actually looked at it and said, this is what needs to change? We need to change this and this. No, they haven't. They're just saying, we need change. Everything's got to change. What do you want to change? Where did it come from? Why has it started? Does this go back to small children? Is this the community? Is this the media? What is causing it? Somebody actually do a root cause analysis and find out before you go shouting your mouth off saying you want change. What do you want changed? Do you want things changed at school? Do you want education at school? Do you want tougher sentencing? What is that going to do? There's already sentencing for rape, for murder, public disorder, which you're being held accountable for. There is a lot of things out there, there's a lot of laws out there that people are not taking any notice of, obviously. But you want change. What change is it you want? You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, the vaccine is being rolled out as fast as it possibly can. You cannot have mass gatherings. If you could have mass gatherings, we'd open up pubs and clubs. Everywhere would be open. The British public would be out enjoying themselves instead of being locked up. You can't even go out on a golf course, which is basically a walk in a park. You can't do it. Yet you lot want to have mass gatherings complaining. And then the following night, they're outside number 10, complaining there, saying all cops are bastards. They're not. Let's face it, you get a few rogue arseholes in the police force the same as you do in any other line of industry. I'm not in the police, but I've worked with some arseholes. I've worked with some nice ones, some nice people as well. As you get in every single line of life, you get arseholes as well as you get nice people. So you know what, to blame all of, to tarnish every police officer with all cops are killers, all cops are bastards. I think you need to sit down and have a good hard look in the mirror and go, really, do I actually know what I'm talking about? And I would hazard a guess the answer should come back, no, you have no clue. Anyway, that's my 2 bobs worth. I just thought I'd put it out there. You know, this is what's going on. It's all over the media at the moment, and their media is still carrying on. BBC are still reporting bullcrap. They're still coming down on one side. They will not criticise the other side. They will not criticise these women who are basically breaking the law, who organised an illegal gathering, who resisted arrest, who were requested to leave on many occasions before they started, before the police said enough is enough. You need to understand, enough is enough. Public safety has to come first, not the views of some crazy woman, not the views of some mad woman who thinks she's in part of the Black Panther movement holding her fist up. You're not, you're a middle-aged woman. Fine. Women don't feel safe walking the streets, completely understand. Let's put more police on the streets, out of their flash motors, off of their flash motorbikes. Put the bobbies back on the beat again. Street cops, that's what we need. We need the old Bill back on the streets. Not spending thousands and millions of pounds on flash BMWs, Range Rovers, Jags and God knows what else that they can ride around in. Put them back on the streets so they understand. There's kids around here riding in the middle of the road, groups of kids riding their push bikes in the middle of the roads, running right, doing what the hell they want because there's no threat from the old Bill. Put the police back on the streets. Let's start taking the streets back from these little thugs who think they're hard and they can do what they want. Completely support that. Completely support making the streets safer for everyone. Anyway, my 2 bobs worth, my thoughts. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we'll go from there. If you've got any topics you want me to cover, send them through. We'll look at it and we'll do whatever we can. That's from me. Thanks very much. Ta-ra for now.